Well, we have the Hitler Youth in America, funded by Democrat dark money, including Soros, the radical left, these Democrat Party organizations, funded by Hamas Network, funded by Qatar, the Marxists, funded by Communist China and the Confucius Institutes. We have an FBI that says, well, we don't monitor any of this. You know, we just give advice to local cops while they're busy monitoring, you know, parents and Catholics and pro-lifers and so forth. It's really quite a mess. I don't see DHS doing anything to go through the list to see if any of these students should have their asses kicked out of this country, Douglas Murray. But all I see is this constant attack on Benjamin Netanyahu. You just reported on this. Tell us about it.
Yes. Just broke the story this week in my column in the New York Post that there's an attempt by the International Criminal Court to, in the coming days and weeks, indict Benjamin Netanyahu and two other people at the top of the Israeli government on so-called war crimes charges. This is based, by the way, on no investigation and no evidence. But it's a demonstration of something very important that I think is about to come up, a demonstration of what you and I have said often, which is that these radicals always go for Israel first, but it's everyone else next. America's attitude towards the International Criminal Court, Republicans in particular, has tended to be, we will not respect the jurisdiction of the court because you know what? You'll come for our generals. You'll come for our secretaries of defense. You'll come for our secretaries of state next. This is a very important moment that's going to happen if these indictments come against Netanyahu and the other Israelis. When these indictments are leveled against our allies in Israel, be sure that the same radical leftist judges and prosecutors and others will be coming for American generals, American soldiers, American officials and lawmakers next. And I hope that this stupid, ridiculous and warped, completely inverted world that the International Criminal Court now lives in, I hope they realize that in doing this, they're actually not doing what they hope to do, which is to delegitimize Israel. They're actually delegitimizing themselves.
You know, a couple of things on this. I mean, you have Xi slaughtering Muslims. You have, you've got Putin slaughtering Ukrainians. You've got this genocidal police state in North Korea. We can go through the list. Iran raping its women, torturing, killing its people. We can go through the list of horribles of probably 180 countries in the world, and they go after Netanyahu because Netanyahu is defending his people who are Jewish, and he will not relent. You know, Donald Trump didn't recognize that court. Donald Trump, in fact, put sanctions on that court and said if they ever step out of line and attack us, the United States, that he's going to do more. Biden comes in, recognizes the legitimacy of that court, just as Biden has burned down so many of our protections in our society, internally and externally. And they come out with a report, Douglas Murray, last week, the State Department, that really added fuel to what this so-called international court's going to do. Israel's at the top of the list of the worst countries when it comes to so-called war crimes. Our own State Department did that, feeding into what this court's going to do, no?
Yeah. Yeah. The other thing to be said about this is the first time that the International Criminal Court has come, not for occasionally they do things against various despots, you know, the occasional African despot, there have been words about Putin, you know, and the ICC, but they're all just words, Marcus, you know, because Vladimir Putin isn't going to give himself up to The Hague. You know, Kim Jong-un isn't going to be taken off there anytime soon. Chairman Xi isn't going to be. But this is this one of the many sinister things about the ICC. This is the first time they're coming for a democratically elected leader. And a democratically elected leader represents his army and his people and a conscript army. This is an attack on Israel. They'll come for the US next. Before you know it, if the ICC get away with this, it'll be an elected American leader that'll be in their sights next.
Well, maybe they'll come for Biden. I don't know if that's good or bad, but this Netanyahu thing is a disgusting disgrace. He is a great leader. In my view, he's the Churchill of our time. He's the voice of freedom in our time of all the elected officials while they're trying to put Donald Trump in prison. Douglas Murray, I want to thank you for all you do. God bless you, my friend.
Thank you, Mark. Great pleasure to see you.